Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly Update. Well, I'm sorry I was gone for a couple of weeks there, but I was sick, and then there also wasn't really a whole lot of news going on, so this week we're going to be catching up on a couple of things that happened prior to last week, but enough happened last week that we actually still have quite a bit left to talk about. So let's just go ahead and start with this one here. Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4 on Nintendo Switch got a release date announced here. So it's going to be coming to the West in April on the 9th. April 9th, 2021. And unfortunately, so far, though, there hasn't been a release date update for the PC release. So hopefully we'll get some word about that pretty soon. Also, for Persona 5 Strikers, we got a new trailer for that, which looks really awesome. Again, that looks like that's coming out on the 23rd for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Still no word about a PC release of the game, unfortunately, because it sounds like, Atlas and SEGA are really embracing the PC side of things lately. So I'm still expecting that this will probably be ported over to PC at some point. Unfortunately, just still no word on that yet. And then this isn't an RPG, but there's enough crossover between fans that I feel like this is probably something that should be mentioned, and that's that the new Nintendo Pokemon Snap game that was recently announced. Well, that got a release date announced as well, April 30th of 2021 worldwide, and it's of course coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch. This was a game that I never was really a huge fan of growing up, but I know a lot of people out there really enjoyed it, so this is exciting. Also, we got a bit of news that Hogwarts Legacy was delayed. That's that Harry Potter verse RPG, the open world RPG that looks like visually stunning. Now that's supposed to have come out sometime in 2021 this year, but it looks like that's been pushed back to 2022. And it is currently, they say that it's going to come out on PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, and PC. However, I would almost, based on like everything I've seen in the trailer, I wonder if it will come out on PS4 and Xbox One. I kind of suspect that maybe that if it's getting pushed back a whole year, I don't know if it's worth their time to push it to PS4 and Xbox One X. We'll see, I suppose. Also, we got an announcement for the launch date of Dragon Quest Tact. That's that mobile tactical RPG set in the Dragon Quest with like Dragon Quest monsters. I almost said Dragon Quest universe, but I mean, they're all kind of not necessarily interconnected universes. So anyways, it features Dragon Quest monsters. It's a tactical RPG. It's coming out in the West on iOS and Android on the 27th. So that's just a little over a week away from today. So based on everything that I've seen about it, it looks really interesting. Like it could be a fun way to play if if you are on the bus or something and going to and from work these days, then that would be a pretty interesting way to spend some time. But I'd like to get my hands on it and see if I can make some opinions of my own on it, actually. Anyways, in other news, Square Enix has recently trademarked more Final Fantasy VII related titles and logos in Japan, including Ever Crisis and First Soldier, as well as a Shinra logo. Now, in the wake of this event, of all this news, people are positively abuzz with what could this possibly be. I've been saying for a while that I thought it would be really great if we could see some sort of return to Crisis Core in like Final Fantasy VII's engine, like maybe some sort of DLC pack where you could do that. But I don't know if that's necessarily what this is going to be. Of course, I don't know anything, but it could be. I think it looks like a lot of people do think that with the name like Ever Crisis, that would allude to the events of Crisis Core and Zack and all of that. So I would be really interested in see where that goes. But I will keep you updated as updates come out. Now, in also other news, it looks like there's another hint of other games being made. It looks like a new Caligula effect title may be in the works because Furyu also trademarked a new logo, and this logo is for Caligula 2. And it says Caligula 2, so it's a very strong possibility that it's in development, but of course there's no official announcement made yet at this time. If you're a big fan of Caligula Effect, then I would be pretty excited though. Now, in other news, there was actually a fan patch that was very recently released for the Japanese version of Grandia on Sega Saturn, which we never got here in the West. That fan patch has been released on the Sega Extreme website, and I'll link to that down in the description down below. A lot of people say that Grandia on the Sega Saturn was the best release of the game. It just had some extra features and stuff that just didn't come over in the West. It appears as though that this is going to be using a lot of the official localization script from the port to PS1, as well as some of the Gung Ho localizations. However, the team also is using their own hacking and graphical edits made by the team specifically for this fan patch. At least that was my takeaway based on the README file, since they credited Gung Ho and Sony for the scripts. It looks like this could be a really interesting way to play Grandia if you haven't already had a chance. And if you haven't had a chance, I do highly recommend that you give it a go, because it is one of my favorite PlayStation 1 RPGs. Game Arts, guys, they just did such a great job of character development throughout their titles, including the Lunar games and Grandia. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. If you want to know my full thoughts, link to my review is in the corner there, okay? Now, that leads us into SuperDerek news. So, I already mentioned that I ended up taking a couple weeks off, mostly due to being just completely under the weather for a week, and then also just nothing really happened for that kind of period between Christmas and the first couple weeks of January. So I decided to take a second week off and just instead revamp all of my game collection thumbnails on YouTube. So hopefully when new videos of the game collection come out, they'll stand out, and I hope you enjoy the look of the new thumbnails that I'm putting out from here on, kind of revamping some of the branding and such. So hope you like them. Also, in some SuperDerek news here, I am apparently approaching very quickly the 50,000 subscriber mark, which blows my mind. So with this apparent impending milestone, I'm gonna try to do some sort of celebration videos, maybe some sort of game room tour, maybe a Q&A, which leads to the question of the week, because actually there's nothing that's coming out this week as far as the JRPG Weekly forecast goes, so we're going to skip straight to the question of the week. And my question of the week to you is actually, I'm gathering ideas for what this Q&A might entail. So if there's any burning questions or anything less serious that you just want to ask me, feel free to post your questions down in the comments below. And then also make sure to go read a few of those and upvote or, thumbs up the ones that you want to have answered as well, because that'll help me determine what questions people want to know about the most. And I do request that you keep it to just one question, and then if you have multiple questions, submit multiple comments. That way people can just thumbs up the ones that they want instead of, a list of 50 or something like that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I hope that you have had a great year so far, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody. Oh yeah, I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me.